the Immigrant, and welcome to Blackboard Talk, where we believe in ourselves, create wealth, and build an empire. Now, on this channel, we really focus on how we could better ourselves, and today's topic going to be how to master budgeting, right? Remember, if you like what you see today, please like, share, and subscribe. And really subscribe because it helps me grow my business. And today's topic is going to be really interesting for two reasons. One is to master your budget, and two, the extra money from your budget, you can help to create a business. But keep in mind, money don't always make money. Creativity make money. So we're going to all get in it today. And let me give you a little bit more about my history in case this is the first time you're seeing my video. I'm originally from Guyana. I come to this country and I worked my tail off. Definitely worked it off to get to where I want to be and become a six-figure earner. To become that, it starts with the foundation, the basic things in life, where I had to make sacrifice to get where I want. And the whole point of me relating to the blackboard, because in our country, that's what they taught me on, the blackboard. And that's where we teach each other on. So even though there's the whiteboard now, we definitely go back in days and in time to get a fresh start with the blackboard. So our topic definitely is going to be focusing around how you can better your budget. Now, moving into the first part, which is the foundation of a budget, you have to have that mindset. You think about it, and I can relate to many of my videos. I break this down into details, right, of why is it important. So a foundation is one of the things I'm going to say first with a budget. Believe you me. When you figure out what is the foundation, how much money you make, that's what's going to get you to where you go. And I'll definitely make a chart and get into it with you. But first, I really want to explain to you the importance of a budget and why a budget could get you from point A to point B, right? Most businesses, no, all businesses, successful businesses and successful people creates a budget. You know, I usually throw big name people that you would surprise, like for example Elon Musk or Jay-Z or somebody of the sort who we could relate to. They all have budgets, and it's not budget, oh, I'm studying how to a budget on how to what I'm gonna pay for my house. They have budgets in terms of my staff, how they're gonna pay their staff, what is the amount the company's keeping, what is the investments amount. These are different things. So different levels of budget, but now we're doing the basic. We're just focusing on you the individual we're focusing on. So foundation is the first part. Now with a basic building, just to build it, you have to put the concrete, and with the concrete, that's the foundation, because that's the cement that holds it. So that's why it's important when you're doing a budget where you land. Now we're going to move on to paying yourself. That's even another way that I always recommend first, paying yourself. Now a lot of people do this last, and it's the biggest mistake. Anybody successful pay themselves first. You know, I will tell you why. When you pay yourself last is when you finish pay all the bills and whatever leave back for you. Whatever leave back is that's what you're going to say, this is for me. And then because you don't have a lot leave back for you, you start hunting on the credit cards, you start going into different things where you borrowing, where you're in a debt, right? So don't do that. I'm gonna show you different ways where you start with. Because of paying yourself, it's gonna make you say, well, if I put aside $200-300 from my money every month, or $500 every month, depends on your pay scale. Because for example, I live in New York, and New York things is an expensive city, as everyone know. You know, one bedroom apartment will go for like $1,500. But if you don't want to rent all the days of your life, you're gonna start making the sacrifice to own a home. And to own a home, you're gonna gotta start creating other income, either taking overtime instead of refusing it and saying, oh, we're not doing it. And then there's some jobs who don't create overtime, don't have overtime, then get a second job. And I get it that you all have kids, but I have kids too. So you can have to learn to make the sacrifice and explain to them things what they can do. So now we get into pay yourself. Why it's important? Because if you pay yourself first, that's where you're gonna really start to see the outcome of the budget. The third part that I usually get into is being creative, right? When you be creative with a budget, sorry, forgive me with my E. When you be creative with a budget, then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I didn't know I had this. For example, I'll give you an example. A single mom. A single mom have the dad in the house sometimes and said, oh, or a single dad. Vice versa. I'm not siding in terms of sex, but I'm just saying, if you were two persons living in a house and it was two income coming in, and that one person, if you're like, oh my God, I cry my tears and everything, but guess what? After wiping the tears is the reality. Now, all of a sudden, you get creative how you got to make that extra dollar to cover that extra income that's lost. And by doing so, that's when you get creative. You know, either it's creative of caring to get child support because now you need that extra income, so you got to squeeze it out of them. Either creative of getting a second job or a third job. Either creative of creating something or cutting back on many things that you had before, whether it's the cable, whether, you know, stuff like that, because everybody's stream right now. And the last part that I love to get into will be the T chart. And this is what I'll get into with you guys. And this is where we break down our expenses. Right? T chart. So now I'm going to show you how to do a budget on a T chart, and that's very, very important. So I'm going to write the budget down because I'm going to tell you something. I was actually Googling it up and see in New York, the average income for a family is for a single person is between 30 to 40,000. Would you believe that? 30 to 40,000. But you would be like, wow, that's a little bit. Or some people would be like, wow, I don't get a lot. But believe it or not, it's 30 to 40,000 for one person and 60 to 80 for a family of two, a complete family, a household of a complete family. And it's hard because who could pay rent with those kind of money? But you could find a way to do it and save, and that's where I'll show you today how to do so. Now we get to the T chart. I completely put together the T chart and I'm going to break it down. This is what an example of a budget should be looking like. So I'll take my time and go straight one by one. So this is your income. You always put your income on the left-hand side. And as I said, the average single person usually brings in 35K. Now, the good thing about some states, I guess, because of federal funding, when you're making this kind of income, they will help you in terms of if you have kids, with certain financial help towards food and so forth. But let's say for now, this budget, you don't have a kid. And how are we going to get to where we want to get to? This is somebody young, now starting out. And if you do have kids, I can also show you where you could still use this budget and still get a little bit of help, because even to the food stamp they give you, right? Or the help towards the rent, add that to your budget. Add that as a help, because you know what? If you budget that, then you're going to know how much you have and how much you don't have, and save, because you can save. And keep in mind, a person like this and have an income like this and filing for taxes, you also get a jump start, because you also, if you have kids, they will definitely give you back stuff because they know it's very hard. In terms of programs, when you're making an income like this, they help you with programs to school. Reach out. There's so much different programs, and the school will tell you where it can help you, whether it's babysitting program, after school program. Those are things you can get into. But let's start with the budget. So our income now, an average person in America, well, New York, makes 35,000, and you can check it. So we're gonna just break it down to monthly, which is 2,800. Now you're gonna be like, but 35,000 divided by 12 is not 28. I already take out the taxes, because you know what? That's a must. You're not even seeing it. So I'm just giving you an idea. You know, this is not, first of all, let me declare, I am not a financial advisor, but I can definitely show you the tips I use to get to where I want to get to. So by doing so is why I'm showing you this. So let's declare that. But if you use the same format, because I didn't have to go to school to get that degree, but I use the same format to get where I get, I'm a prime example of how you can do the same thing too. And trust me, it's a lot of sacrifice. This is a tight budget, but we'll start with it and I'll explain to you why it will work. So for example, this is our expense column, right? So remember, we're working with 28,000 and monthly. So now we're gonna break it down. Some jobs get paid every 2 weeks, and some jobs get paid weekly. But this is how we're gonna break down the money to let the expense go. So remember, I said about saving yourself. Important, extremely important. When you pay yourself first, you kind of see where you have the emergency fund. If you could put 200 of this money into a 401k. I know it sounds crazy. 200 into a Roth IRA. 200. The beautiful thing about a Roth IRA, a 401k before I get into it, it's not taxes before. So you could take it out this if your job, plus if your job matching it, more the merrier. But if you're working like a babysitting job and you know your job don't have all of these perks, definitely sit down with a financial advisor. This one, you put in a Roth IRA. And I can tell you that's what I actually saved my Roth IRA, which helped me buy my home because there's a lot of perks by having a Roth IRA. So I can definitely share that information to you. Now, the $100 is emergency fund because, you know, you never know what happened. But guess what? After 12 months of putting away $100, gonna come to $1,200. Plus, when you file taxes and you get a little bit of something, you put it away from that money to build your emergency fund. And keep in mind, with any investment you're doing, you could lose a little bit. But remember, it's better trying than not trying at all. Stop making excuses. You can make this work. So now it comes down to rent. Okay, I get it. Rent is expensive. Now, you could get a 1-bedroom for like $1,500. So now we're in a stage, we're not looking at people who are looking to rent now, because then you got to create more money to cover the rent or get a roommate. But for now, let's say you're doing $1,500, right? Now your transportation, that's major. $250 for a MetroCard, monthly MetroCard, you're good. But let's say, I passed that stage. I got a car. Look at me, I'm driving. Now you better make that car an asset and not a liability. Because cars are considered liability from the day you drive off the lot. It's a liability. So you want to make certain, how this car going to make money for me? You know, figure out a way. Do a little taxi on the side, you know. Friends want to go to the airport. Let them know, like, look, I could drop you to the airport. I could drop you to do grocery. Instead of they calling Uber, you'll do it for them. Let your friend, don't let pride get in the way, but let your car be an income. Like you could do Instacart. It requires your car. You could do Uber Eats. It requires a car. So if you have a car, that's also going to help. And that's creating more income. Now we get down to the importance. Oh my God, I preach this so much. This is a low income and I still squeeze $50 towards my life insurance because that's important. When you have kids, you need to leave something for them. And a bare minimum of a temporary, because if you see your income is struggling to maintain your picture, if you die, what's gonna happen to the kids? You know, that's why it's important to have a life insurance. Now, your cell phone, got you. You need that. That's normal. Plus, you could do apps on your phone. You could even do YouTube like me and try to earn some income, create yourself, promote yourself, different things. Because remember, money don't always make money. Creativity makes money. Now, the light is important. So the light I put for $120, the gas I put for $30, which is like cooking gas and stuff. Some apartments offer that in their plan, but if you don't, you have to pay separate, more the merrier. Then you have the food. Now you're gonna be like, who can live off of $200 a month for food? I do. Now, whatever you cook today, you know, a bag of rice is 20 something dollars. A baked 20-pound of rice. I'm from the island, so we eat a lot of rice, right? And then we start with the groceries. So by doing the rice, you already $20 alone for a bag of rice. Whatever you cook the night before, you can eat the next day. It's not gonna kill you. We have a fridge. And the beautiful thing about apartment building, they come with fridge. They come with a stove and a fridge. So you can warm it up and carry it to work. Some people job require them working on the street so they can't warm up their food. I get that. But you can make sandwich. You can buy a loaf of bread, which is like $2, and you could peanut butter and jelly. You make, remember, this is not for now. This is long time sacrifice. And I'm telling you, these sacrifices that I had made back then make me travel the world, make me enjoy nice things, make me own a home. Because I took that sacrifice. Still, as you can see, I'm a chunky girl. And made that sacrifice to get where I'm in. So you don't have to be, oh, I'm going to starve to death. I'm not going to get food. No, you can do it, right? Even in the morning, instead of stopping in the morning to buy just $1.50 coffee, really? Get a cup. You know, boil the water anyway. Why are you taking a shower with the water warm and make your tea? Keep it going. Push it on the train. You're drinking a cup of tea. Now, cable. Now, you know, I put it real cheap. Like, hang out cable them price. They have streaming. There's so much streaming. First of all, our cell phones are so up to date that you can have Netflix, like T-Mobile, they offer Netflix and stuff on their phone. Some companies offer Hulu. When they offer all these plans, you mirror it to your TV. Mirror it to your TV because that's where it go from. And the extra, which is the 200, is what you're going to cater for the credit cards, right? Now, if you have a credit card or you buy clothes and stuff, I would recommend, yes, you use your credit card, but you pay it off. Now, if you know you're making this kind of budget, 35,000, don't go buy Gucci and Chanel. You don't have Gucci and Chanel level. Don't even go buy the fake one. It doesn't make sense. Remember, it doesn't. So I'm being straightforward to you. You look like a clown because you're gonna wear the fake stuff, one. And if you do decide to say, let me dress up my clothes and I want to be part of society and want to feel fit in, there's cute clothes with good quality. I wear jeans from Walmart for $20. Yes, Walmart have beautiful fitted jeans for $20. Correction, like between $18 and some cents. Good quality that when you wash in the machine, you're good to go. You could wear a nice little top for $20. You don't have to be changing every minute to keep up with the grind. Once you get a black jeans, a blue jeans, a dark blue jeans now, you already in good. You get a couple of pieces of outfit, you good. Especially wintertime, you don't need a lot of clothes because you cover it up. You get a decent coat, you good to go. So this is the way I would definitely recommend your budget. So somebody who making 35,000 would definitely bring in something around 2,800. And then if you find the rent is too expensive, get a roommate. I can't live with people. Really? You mean people can't live with you? You got to start to figure out ways how you're going to swallow your pride, get a family member, team up. I started off renting a room, a simple room. Now look, again, example of how. I didn't say it take 2 years to get the house. I actually worked a ton of overtime to get this house, but at least I didn't find no excuse. Oh, the government don't do this to me, or oh, I'm a single mom, or oh, something. When they, like I said before, when they give you lemon, what you do? Make lemonade. So I hope today with this budget will definitely help you. Leave the comments below. You can definitely reach me up and inbox me or leave a message in the link and I can reach out to you and show you if you're working with a different income. And it's all about helping each other, all about helping our community. And I would love to get more into this and help you with your specific budget. So guys, thank you very much for looking at the budget. I must say it was a really enjoyable thing to do. For people who have bigger budgets and you want to work on clearing off your debt, I'll be doing a video in the future for helping you to focus on clearing off your debt. But remember, today's topic most of all with the budget is paying yourself first. When you pay yourself first, right, you will push yourself to find a way because the light bill is like a bully. The gas is a bully because if you don't pay, they're gonna turn off. But if you pay those, your savings won't pressure you. So there's certain bank like the credit union I'm in, they usually have an account that sends your money over to a specific account to hold it, whether it's Christmas Club, Vacation Club, all of that. So if you create that habit before you see your paycheck to let these money goes to these different places. For example, I give my kids $100 each week once I get paid. Now it might sound like a little bit money, to give them, but then they have to budget that $100 and realize how much they want to put aside for their finances, how much they want to use to play and save. If my son want to use McDonald's, I'm like, look, you got to do two things. You're going to buy McDonald's and buy McDonald's stock. So those are things I teach my kids because it's something we have to pass down. Life insurance. Next thing, very important. I'll get into topic one day with that. Why is it important to leave, make certain you leave something behind, and not behind as in terms of if you want to leave money for people to use, but at least your responsibility. This is your kids. Make it life a little bit easier. Create that ground wealth for your family. And most of all, have an emergency money. So that's why it's good to have that extra cushion. Then you could use that extra cushion as it pile up to gain bigger things and be creative. Figure out ways to make money. You know what I'm saying? A budget is just, this is where we're going to get to point A to point B. But now you have to create that habit, that sacrifice, being patient. So with that said, please, I ask of you to like, share, and subscribe. And it will help you. And check in for the next video. And like I said, in my accent, as you guys know, watch out for the other video.